Nanoscience and nanotechnology are the study and application of extremely small things and can be used across all other science fields, such as chemistry, biology, physics, material science, and engineering. It's hard to imagine just how small nanotechnology is, but just imagine this. A sheet of newspaper is about 100,000 nanometers thick. On a comparative scale, if a marble were a nanometer, then 1 meter would be the size of the entire Earth. Today on 48 Hours, we look at a branch of nanotechnology called nanomedicine. 48 Hours, own your future. Oratile is 14 years old. He's in grade 8 and his favorite subjects are robotics and science. He enjoys going to the gym and washes cars on the weekend to make his pocket money.
I do English, maths, robotics, social sciences, economics, Afrikaans, creative arts. I got exposed to this by my teacher actually. She told me that there's a new technology that they're developing that could work quicker and faster than what we have currently. She called it nanotechnology, and I heard about it on 48 Hours, and that's how I developed the interest in it. It's the future. Today, I'd like to learn how nanotechnology is used in medicine, to be specific, biomedical sciences, because I believe that there is a cure for every single disease in the world. It's just for us people to work hard, to try, to save our society. So that's why I think I would like to learn about biomedical sciences. In my future, I see myself with a PhD in chemistry and being the first person to create the smallest nanoparticle in the world. With the smallest nanoparticle, it's easier for us to live, because our bodies will be able to indulge it with it quicker and more effectively, according to bigger nanoparticles which don't easily dissolve in human bodies or in water or in oxygen, hydrogen for people in hospitals. Today is important to me because if I make a good impression on my mentor at the CSIR, I could be able to maybe get an occupation there and make the smallest nanoparticle, achieve my goal of making the smallest nanoparticle and making the world a better place. So now I'm off to meet my mentor, and I'm so excited to learn about biomedical sciences and nanotechnology.
Patrick is a scientific researcher at the CSIR. He's fascinated by the body's ability to grow, heal, and perish. His interest in nanomedicine has helped him on his path to finding progressive treatment for malaria.
Tshepo, thank you very much for having me here today. It's an honor. And could you slightly tell me, what work do you do here?
I am a drug developer. So basically what we do, we use nanomedicine techniques to upgrade the current medicine that is in the market. So for instance, we would work on anti-malarials, anti-TB, and HIV drugs.
Could you briefly tell me, what exactly is nanomedicine?
Basically, the nano word itself, it's on the metric scale from your meter to your centimeter, micrometer, then you go to your nanometer. So essentially, we're making medicine or developing medicine at a nanoscale.
Yeah, I understand that nano is a word that means very small things.
Yes.
For someone that wants to work in this career, what degree should they achieve to work in this field in university?
From your engineering side will be your chemical engineering, biotechnology, analytical sciences, anything that has your chemistry and your, biology.
So in high school, for example, what subjects would learners have to take to qualify?
Math, science, and biology.
What are the day-to-day requirements of your job and the challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis?
I don't come to the lab every day.
Oh, so
So let me just
lab,
clarify that part. A scientist doesn't wear a lab coat and comes to the lab every day. Most of our job is reading.
Reading.
Yeah, because of the more you are clued up on the science, on the basics of science. Let me be very specific about that part. On the basics of science, you need to know if compound 1 mixed with compound 2, then compound XYZ is gonna come out. As soon as you know that part, then you can come to the lab and innovate.
Can you give me some exposure of expertise in your workplace?
Oh, of course, yeah, sure, no problem.
Coming up after the break, Oratile gets to experience the work that Patrick does every day and also gets to experiment in the lab. Welcome back. Before the break, we met Oratile, a grade 8 student whose interest in robotics led him to his passion for nanotechnology. We introduced him to nanoscientist Patrick from the CSIR, who's currently working on a way to eradicate malaria using nanomedicine. Now Oratile gets to experience a day in his life.
Let me tell you all about my equipment here. This is a vortex. A vortex, it's a mixer. But now, as much as that's a homogenizer, you put in the probe inside to mix from the inside. This one creates a vortex, but from the outside. Oh. See that? So it just mixes it without touching anything from inside. And then this is a homogenizer. This is what we use to make emulsions. So a homogenizer is just a high-speed mixer. So you've got the outer shell of the outer probe, and inside this, you've got a mixer which turns. This is a balance, a weighing balance. Now this one, you can do a whole lot of weighing. I think milligrams, grams, it has different functionalities, so you can do a lot with it.
You told me more about medicine and nanotechnology. You showed me how it could better the lives of people, and he taught me that a 6-month process of treatment could go down to just 1 week.
Now, since I've shown you what I do, I'm gonna show you a few chemicals, and then you're gonna perform a test for me. And I'm gonna leave you alone. Please don't blow up my lab, okay? Thank you. So here, every time when we make these modifications, we use emulsion technology. So emulsion technology basically breaks the surface tension between the water and the oil phase.
Now that Oratile has experienced what it's like to be in the lab, Patrick prepares him for his task. Oratile is required to make a composition that easily dissolves in water. As the human body is water-based, this will demonstrate how nanomedicine is easily absorbed in the body, making it 100 times more efficient and bioavailable than traditional medicine.
So now you're ready to work. I'll be back in a few, and then I'll see what you're doing in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, cheers. You can start. So my first impression of Oratile, I find him very quiet, well-mannered. I think he's got goals, and he can achieve them if he works hard. He did his research before he came here, and then he knew what I was doing, and then he asked relevant questions, and I believe he's gonna make it.
The task, I was very excited. Having to do it on my own without his help, without him. I had to mix the solvent and the solution, and then take it to the mixer and mix it, then take it to the spray dry machine. Spray dried until it became a powder, which took around about 36 minutes. Well, the challenges were that I had to get all the measurements correctly, because if I didn't, it was just not going to work. And following the instructions, because he just told me the instructions and he left the room. So, and the highlights were, it was such a dynamic thing that from all the way from 6 months could turn into 1 week, a 1 week process. That's just amazing. I don't know if you think so too, but that was just amazing. So I've spray dried the solution, and the powder medicine that we're looking for as a result has come out.
Let's see if what you did works. Remember, the major problem that drugs are suffering from is poor solubility, meaning that they can't dissolve in water, which is a major barrier. It limits the drug from absorbing into the circulatory system. What we're working on, currently this is what they use to treat malaria. Now what you were working on, that's lumefantrine. Now I've got a pure compound over here. This is just this in a powder format. So I'm going to show you that when I mean insoluble in water, what does that mean? And then if you did it right there, if I put that powder into water, it's supposed to behave different from this powder. I'm just going to take a little bit and just put it right there. Look at what happens.
Doesn't dissolve.
You see? It stays
It's on the
it
top
floats.
like oil.
Nothing happens.
This is the one that
Yeah.
I created.
Exactly. So let's see what's going to happen.
It goes straight down.
See that?
So this means that
Now,
it's the...
if you close it, look at this, look at this. You see? You can see that it's dissolving. It's not sedimenting, it's dissolving.
Oratile's task demonstrates that nanoparticles are so minuscule, which maximizes their absorption. This means that medical treatment for illnesses such as malaria and TB can be reduced from 6 months to 1 week. This is absolutely revolutionary.
So the current medicine does not dissolve in water. It floats on top of water like it's oil. But the one that he had invented dissolves into water. And the one that, according to the instructions that he gave me, the one that I made had dissolved in water.
Oratile, I'm impressed. I am very humbled that you came to visit me today here and spend the whole day with me here and learn a bit more about what I do. And I do believe that you have potential. Just work hard, be determined, know what you want, and just go get it.
Well, it's the end of my first day on 48 hours, and I am feeling happy and excited. And I feel that everything I was seeking to find, I got. And thanks to Tshepo a lot. He taught me about biomedical sciences and how it works hand in hand with nanotechnological sciences and how it could help better the lives of people.
Coming up after the break, Oratile gets to meet entrepreneur Dr. Sibella, who is using nanotechnology in ways to improve energy efficiency and water purification techniques. Welcome back. Before the break, Oratile spent the day with nanoscientist Patrick from the CSIR. Now he gets the chance to meet entrepreneur Dr. Sibella, who's using nanotechnology to improve society in other ways, such as energy distribution and water purification, just to name a few. First, let's catch up with Oratile about his first day on the job.
Well, today I'm very excited because I'm about to meet an entrepreneur from Sabi Nano. I have a lot of questions for him because the last time I met a scientist. I'm going to tell the entrepreneur about my idea of letting people know about water purification via nanocarbons, that it could better their lives and their way of living, and it could reach out to more people in South Africa, people that can't get clean running water.
My name is Sibella. I am from Mpumalanga. I was born in Swaziland, grew up there with my mother and grandmother. My other name, my middle name is Dalton, so that was given to me by my mom, and it was named, so essentially I was named after John Dalton, who was quite a popular scientist, which my mom really got inspiration from. So I think in a way, my parents, my mom essentially had the guts of feeling that I would essentially become a scientist at some point. Okay, so Nano is a startup company. It's a manufacturing company that focuses on nanotech products and innovations. Specifically, our first line of products are carbon nanotubes and related products, which includes graphene and graphene oxides. But we at this stage are producing and selling the carbon nanotubes. The company also focuses on other materials that are based on carbon, but not carbon nanotubes as such, that are applicable to industrial wastewater purification, so large-scale water purification. And we also just do some consulting services, offering advice where we can to industries that are interested in exploring the materials. So we have contract types of projects where private company put in money and we help them to develop a specific product for them, which we then ultimately sell to the market.
48 hours went behind the scenes to give our candidate the lowdown on who he's about to meet. Sabelo is the founder and owner of Sabi Nanotechnologies. After lecturing and teaching in this field, he realized that he needed to start practicing what he was preaching about nanotechnology.
What inspired you to start your own nanotechnological company?
So I've been working at the university as a research professor for many years, for about 5 years. And as a research professor, you want to solve problems, societal problems. You can only solve them and provide a technology for them, but then it ends there. So I realized then that we cannot do the research, find some solution, and then just publish them and keep the knowledge or the information that we get in the shelves. These are the solutions that I could develop even if I was independent, even if I had my own private organization, because that would allow me the flexibility to look for funding, to set up the plants and the facilities, and ultimately get them into the market.
What were the challenges on the onset of starting your own company?
The major challenge was funding. We had to have the funding that would allow us to be able to at least put food on the table while we actually looking for the customers.
As an entrepreneur, do you see your business in the future satisfying the needs of people and people understanding nanocarbon particles even better and needing them?
Yes, yes, definitely. So one of the things that I had to do, for example, as the CEO of the company, is write a letter from the future. It's called, I have it now in my files, it's called the CEO's letter from the future. So essentially I'm writing, sitting there 5 years later in the company and saying, and presenting a report to say that in the past 5 years, this is what we have achieved. So as a company, for example, as Sabi Nano, in 5 years' time, we wish to move away from the premises that we are renting here at Mintech to our own premises, which we essentially have built. And of course, then the numbers would essentially be more than 20 people at least. That's what we are hoping to achieve.
Now that Oratile knows more about Dr. Sibella and his business, let's hope this information helps him with his pitch.
I have a great idea that I wanted to pitch to you. So I heard you talk about water purification.
Right.
And I understand that filtration via nano tubes could help purify our water even better. It's a further step into water purification. Well, I just wanted to tell you that I believe if you show people around the world and we advertise the water and show them the difference between the current water that is being purified by the government and it being filtered via the nanoparticles or the nanotubes, what difference there is and how it can better their lives. I believe that people would be more interested into purchasing the item or overthrowing what we're currently using in the government and getting the nano purification system into the government, which will give the company a lot of money for one.
I see that you've realized that there could be some opportunity for yourself Presently, we are developing some specific technologies that are based on nanotube, but others are also not based on nanotube. So they're carbon-based, but based on biomass, which we've developed. And these are good for mass purification, which would be applicable in mine water treatment, wastewater treatment, which could be reused. But the question is, I mean, the technology is ours, and you're saying, you're pitching, I want to believe that what exactly would you want to do with the water treatment technologies? Can you expand on that?
So I believe that, for one, currently, the government is unable to purify mine wastewaters because of the chemicals that are in it, such as zinc,
Yes.
gold waste, iron ore. It's hard to remove that from the water. But now, with the nanocarbons, apparently you can. So I believe that there's a lot of water underground that's been polluted by mines. So if we get that water on board, we can actually make the world a better place. There could be more water for animals, which will expand the food, and the GDR, which will give back to the economy again.
If we took this discussion further, because it's quite interesting, I want to believe then that you could act as a brand ambassadors for us, and you could make sure that you speak to the people that would need the technology. Would you be able to do that for us?
Yeah, and for one, I'm not expecting much. All I'm expecting is mentorship and my educational advantage, so that through my studies, I have a broad acknowledgement and knowledge about nanoscience.
My first impression of Oratile is that he is a determined young person who is clear with what he wants to achieve in life, especially in the field of science, engineering, and technology. Oratile seems to be a well-knowledgeable person in nanotechnology. I think he has been doing a lot of reading and a lot of research, which we encourage for young people to do. Thank you for the pitch, Oratile. We have a deal. I'll engage with you further on this.
Thank you, Mr. Mhlanga. I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure.
We've come to the end of a jam-packed 48 hours, but we'd like to do something that makes life just a wee bit better for Oratile.
Oratile, thank you. It's been a pleasure to have you here. So as a company, we also would like to, to groom and entice our young people to be able to look at this kind of careers. We would like to host you for about 2 weeks in our facility. You go through the whole experience and also get to interact with some of our industry customers. Would that appeal to you?
It will very much. Thank you, Mr. Mhlanga. Thank you for the opportunity.
So you happy about that?
Very happy.
No,
I'm
we would be happy
enthusiastic.
to have
Over
you.
the moon. I'm happy. I'm pleased. I'm more than grateful for this opportunity that I've been given. This opportunity could lead me to getting more knowledge and knowing and learning more about nanotechnology and helping people. I'd also like to work in an industry that betters the lives of people, not just technologically, but help humanity too.
If you want to be part of the 48-hour experience, contact us on our social media page. If you're interested in more careers, make sure to go to our YouTube page and get inspired.
So Oratile, my advice to you, remain focused and dedicated. Reach out for the opportunities like this that would link you to industry. Then you should be able to achieve your career goals.